Welcome back, everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. If you're an indie creator, a filmmaker, or just someone who's super fascinated by the wild landscape of digital media right now, you're in the exact right place. We all know the struggle, right? You pour your soul, your time, and let's be real, your entire budget into a project, and then you've got to figure out how to actually get eyeballs on it. Today, we're breaking down the ultimate creator's dilemma, giving you the complete rundown on where your content truly belongs. It's the literal million-dollar question, isn't it? You've pulled those countless all-nighters, writing, shooting, editing, just pouring your absolute heart into your web series. And hey, the project's finally finished. But now you're staring down the absolute highest stakes decision of your creative journey. Where the heck do you put it? Do you aim for the highly curated prestige halls of an OTT streaming platform, or do you just release it right into the massive, open, wild ecosystem of YouTube? Okay, let's dive right into this. We've put together a comprehensive framework that throws OTT platforms and YouTube into the ring together across a few critical battlegrounds. We're talking everything from revenue to creative control. By the end of this explainer, you're going to have a crystal clear picture of exactly what's right for your specific story. So, to make sense of all this, we're going to tackle 5 specific rounds: the web series dilemma, audience and revenue potential, prestige versus creative freedom, growth and content lifespan, and finally, the smart distribution strategy. Starting with Section 1, the web series dilemma. Your story obviously deserves the perfect home, but as we know, navigating those industry gatekeepers can be seriously tricky. The reality here is there just isn't some magic one-size-fits-all answer. We're looking at 2 immensely powerful platforms, but they have completely different strengths. Making the right call isn't really about figuring out which platform is objectively better in a vacuum. It's about choosing what actually aligns with your story's goals and your long-term career. So we've got to break down these specific trade-offs. Moving to Section 2, audience and revenue potential. This is our first major head-to-head matchup, focusing on who exactly is watching your series and, more importantly, how you get paid for it. First up, audience quality. Now, on the OTT side of things, you're getting a highly curated audience. These are viewers actively paying a subscription fee to watch premium stuff. They are fully invested. But over on YouTube, you're essentially trading that tight curation for sheer, mind-boggling scale. YouTube gives you massive reach to a wildly diverse audience across literally endless geographies and languages. It's kind of like the difference between performing for an exclusive, dedicated theater audience versus broadcasting to the entire globe at the exact same time. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how financially these 2 ecosystems operate in completely different universes. If you land a spot on an OTT platform, your revenue is generally going to come as an upfront licensing deal, or maybe a revenue share model that's heavily dictated by that platform's specific rules. But hop over to YouTube, and the monetization tools are incredibly diverse. You can earn through traditional ads, channel memberships, fan donations like Super Thanks, and of course, direct brand deals that you get to negotiate all by yourself. All right, let's hit Section 3, prestige versus creative freedom. This is where we weigh traditional industry credibility against having total, uncompromised creator autonomy. So when we talk about brand value, OTT platforms bring something highly coveted to the table: prestige. Getting your series onto a recognized streaming service instantly adds major credibility, professional value, and unquestionable industry recognition to your name. But YouTube completely flips the script on this. Instead of borrowing a platform's prestige, YouTube actually lets you build your own dedicated creator brand. It empowers you to connect directly with fans and grow a deeply loyal, highly interactive community from the absolute ground up. Gaining that OTT prestige, though, it comes with a pretty steep entry barrier. Those platforms are highly selective, super competitive, and they expect a very high baseline when it comes to production quality and packaging. YouTube, on the flip side, is essentially the Wild West in the absolute best way possible. It's totally easy and open. Anyone can upload without a single gatekeeper telling them no. It supports literally all formats, genres, and budgets, whether you've got a massive studio backing you or you're just running a super scrappy indie shoot. And this brilliantly illustrates the absolute harshest trade-off for creators: creative control. If you sign the dotted line with an OTT platform, you generally have to accept having far less control. The platform usually gets the final say on content edits, how the show is promoted, and the overall release strategy. Contrast that with YouTube, which hands you the keys to the castle. You get full control. You own the content. You pick the exact release date, the format, and exactly how you're going to market it. You are the undisputed boss of your own series.
Let's move to Section 4, Growth and Content Lifespan, and see how this builds into the long-term reality for your show.
Take a look at the content life cycle. OTT platforms are heavily built to provide long-term value. Once your show makes it into their library, it generally stays there for the long haul, just quietly and steadily attracting new subscribers over months, even years. Basically, your show gets a very stable shelf life. YouTube, though, is notoriously algorithm dependent. Your reach relies almost entirely on riding current trends and maintaining super consistent performance. If you stop feeding the algorithm, your past content can lose visibility pretty fast.
Because of that dynamic, the growth potential looks drastically different. OTT offers a much slower but stable growth curve with really reliable long-term exposure benefits. YouTube? It's a high-speed roller coaster. It offers the chance for massive, rapid organic growth. I mean, with the right content and a killer strategy, your indie series has the genuine potential to go viral almost overnight. So you're looking at a strategic trade-off: the slow burn of stable OTT exposure or the explosive, unpredictable lightning strike of the open internet.
Which brings us right into Section 5, the smart distribution strategy. Let's synthesize all these facts to reveal the ultimate strategic playbook. Based on our roadmap, here's the distillation of it all. You should absolutely zero in on an OTT platform as your primary target if your main goals are securing that traditional industry prestige, getting straight to an audience that is actively paying for premium content, and locking in long-term stability for your professional portfolio. On the flip side, you should 100% choose YouTube if what you crave above all else is complete creative freedom. If you want massive, immediate global reach without jumping through gatekeeper hoops, and your main objective is to build your own distinct brand and cultivate a fan base that's incredibly loyal to you rather than just a platform, YouTube is your spot. So the crucial point is, you actually don't have to lock yourself into just one side of this battle. Our source outlines this brilliant, smart move, which is essentially a hybrid approach. Step 1, start your journey over on YouTube. Take advantage of its open borders and massive reach to build your audience, prove your concept works, and establish your own creator brand. Step 2, once you've got that undeniable leverage and a built-in fan base, take your series or your next massive project and pitch it directly to the OTT platforms for those bigger opportunities and lucrative licensing deals.
And honestly, here's the best part: you don't have to make that daunting jump all by yourself. As highlighted in our source material, platforms like Shortfundly actually exist specifically to bridge this gap, completely empowering indie creators to pitch, connect, and distribute to those top-tier OTT platforms once your brand is primed for the leap. Which leaves us with one final, pretty exciting thought. We've broken down the deep prestige of OTT and the totally unbridled freedom of YouTube. We've mapped out a killer hybrid strategy that literally gives you the best of both worlds. So I just have to ask, are you ready to make the smart move, leverage these platforms to your total advantage, and finally take your web series global? The roadmap is right in front of you. Now it's just time to hit upload. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep on creating, and I will see you next time.